today we are going to see about the OOPS concept. The object-oriented programming is a paradigm that provides many concepts such as inheritance, data binding, polymorphism, and etc. Okay, the main aim of the object-oriented programming is to implement the real-world entities. For example, object, classes, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. The object means the real world entity. The object oriented programming is a methodology or a paradigm to design a program using the object and classes. It simplifies the software development and maintenance by providing the some concepts. Okay, so it has object, classes, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulations. Okay, next we are going to see about the OOPS concept paradigm. Okay, the concepts which start from the object and object, classes, inheritance, polymorphism, then abstraction. At last it find with the encapsulations. Okay, first of all we are going to see the object. An entity that has a state and behavior is known as object. For example, chair, pen, table, keyboard, etc. Okay, an object can be defined as an instance of a class. A dog is an object because it has the states like color, name, breed, etc. Okay, as well as it has the behaviors like parking and eating, etc. Okay, so next, in a class is a collection of objects. In a class it has the logical entity. Then what do you mean by inheritance? The inheritance, when one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of the parent object, it is known as the inheritance. It provides the code for the reusability. It is used to achieve the runtime polymorphism. The polymorphism is a task is performed in different ways is known as polymorphism. For example, to convince the customer differently, to drawing the something, for example shaping triangle, rectangle, and etc. In Java we use the method overloading and writing to achieve the polymorphism. Okay, to achieve the polymorphism. The next we are going to see about the abstraction, hiding the internal details and showing the functionality is known as the abstraction. For example, phone call, we don't know the internal processing of the phone, but abstract class and interface to achieve the abstractions. The next one is encapsulation. This best example is capsule. So binding a code and data together into a single unit are known as encapsulations. Okay, Java class is an example for the encapsulation. Okay, so the compile time, syntactic and semantic analysis, and runtime assessment of the program behavior. There are two types of binding. First one is the static binding, another one is the yearly binding. The static binding is known as yearly binding. Dynamic binding is known as late binding. Okay, so when the type of objects is determined at compile time, it is known as static binding. Okay, if there is any private or final or static method in a class, there is a static binding. And next one is a dynamic binding. When the object is determined at the runtime is known as the dynamic binding. Okay, these are the examples for the static and dynamic binding. That last, message communications is creating a class that define the object and behavior, creating the objects from the class definition, establishing the communications among the objects. These are the message communication. The benefits of the OOPS concepts, we can reuse the usability, data redundancy, code maintenance, security, design benefits, better productivity, encapsulations, and polymorphism. And applications, now we will know the applications of the OOP: user interface design such as windows and menus, real-time system, simulations and modeling, object-oriented databases, AI and expert system, neural network and parallel programming, decision support and office automation, etc.